And he says hello. Hello, Paulie. How are you today, pal? Okay?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
Fine, Paul. Thank you. What's on your mind now?
Hey, just as a thing with the Maris thing, if you've ever seen that 61 movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. He did.
Yeah, no, it was good for an HBO movie back then. Yeah, but they actually do have the scene where the Orioles manager tells Will, he incites Wilhelm, tells him don't throw a strike or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Hard to believe, and I don't understand the logic because he needed 2 home runs,
right?
And it was the 9th inning, so I mean it was his last at bat. I don't quite get what Richards wanted, why he wanted to do that. It doesn't make unless he was worried about the Yankees tying the game up and going extra innings. I mean,
but I do remember in the movie they did have the Orioles manager. They put that scene in the dugout, and I remember him telling Wilhelm, "Don't throw a strike" or something along those lines. I haven't seen the movie.
Billy Crystal did an excellent.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal did an excellent job directing that movie.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, but anyway, the Orioles. Even if Machado goes, I'm hoping if they do trade him, they will get some stuff back. But they've actually built an okay staff that might be able to get them to the playoffs with Buck and a nice bullpen. Because Bundy's pretty good. Gausman's pretty good. I know they signed Cashner, so I don't think they're going to be that. And Tillman's still there, so I don't think they're going to be that bad. If Davis can rebound and hit 40, and Trumbo can hit 40, I think they got a chance to at least get the wild card.
Listen, their over/under number is low, but I don't disagree with your premise. They have a pretty good offense. They have a good manager. I know Britton's out for a while because he ripped his Achilles, but he'll be back middle of the year, and they have a good bullpen anyway. You could make the argument that the Orioles will be a halfway decent team. But they're not winning the division or finishing in second place.
But the wild card, at least challenge for the wild card, I think they have a chance. So.
Yeah. Fair. I mean, I understand what you're saying there, and you're not totally wrong. Jay is in L.A., and he says hello, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Jason, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What do you have for me?
I'm great. Hope things are well for you, too. Now, we've a little weather report here on the West Coast. We've got rain hitting Los Angeles, so no top down in Los Angeles today for you, Chris.
Yeah, Jason, you caught me very well. It's funny. When we had the World Series in L.A., I did not bring a sweater. For whatever the reason. And, I didn't feel cold once in 10 days.
Well, that the first game of the World Series
was 99 degrees.
World Series, the hottest starting temperature for a World Series game ever was that first game.
I know,
LA.
but even in games 6 and 7, I did not. And I was there the extra day because of the TV and the radio on that the 1st of November, and I still didn't need a sweater. Anyway, you may continue.
I'm a Minnesota Twins fan, born and raised in Minnesota. For the first time in many years, they had a very exciting off season of signing some players to complement the young players that they have. Bringing in Lance Lynn, obviously, as a starting pitcher. They brought in the slugger from the Tampa Bay. So they've made some acquisitions in the off season. Then last week, Polanco gets suspended for 80 games. There's the potential of Sano getting suspended for his off-season issues. The roller coaster. I want to get your thoughts on what the Twins' best-case, worst-case scenario for them would be, and do you see any possibility for them to win the division?
Yeah, I do, because I would be. That's a good call, Jason. I would be surprised if they won the division. They don't have a dominant starting pitcher. And the Indians are pretty good, but there's nobody else in that division that's that good. So I would not be shocked if they competed with Cleveland late in the year. That would not stun me. I think the Indians might have a little hangover. The Indians lost a couple guys in their bullpen. Indians, obviously with Brian Shaw leaving. It would not floor me as Santana left. It would not stun me if they had a bad year or not as good. The Twins had a very good offseason, and obviously, as you just said, they've had a lot of bad things going on here the last 10, 12 days. Obviously, the whole thing with Polanco, he's out of the games, they're starting shortstop. But the front office did a good job in doing what they could. They brought a couple of relievers in. They found Lance Lynn there late. Barrios is sitting there too. They did a good job. Do I think the Twins can compete for a playoff spot? I do. I don't necessarily think the Twins can win the division. I wouldn't stun me, but I wouldn't think so. The Sano thing will come down eventually. I don't know if it's going to be a long suspension, but if he did anything wrong, baseball's got to do something with this domestic abuse. So something will happen to him if he did something wrong. If they find it out, I would think you'd have that answer by opening day. Twins will be competitive. Twins will be competitive. They did lose a little karma, though, the last week. 8 in front of the hour here on Mad Dog Unleashed.